Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here with Roman, Andre, Kent, Mr. Truck, and this is the deliberations for the 2015 Gold Hitch Award for the heavy-duty 2500 pickup truck with a gas engine. Now, just so you know, we decided to move gas away from diesel because you really can't compare the two and be fair. We're about to vote on two contenders. The contenders are the Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD with the 6-liter and the Ram 2500 HD with the 6.4 liter Hemi. There we go. So we only have two.
Okay.
This should be relatively quick. So I guess we just vote for the one we don't want to win.
Yeah, exactly. I think before we do the vote, we have to let people know, obviously there's a Ford in this class, but we're only doing the ones that we've tested.
Yeah. We can't put anything in there that we haven't driven. We've all driven these
And
trucks.
keep in mind, guys, that we request these vehicles, and sometimes we get them because they're in the press fleet. Sometimes because you guys are watching us, they'll actually send us these vehicles. But unfortunately, we did not have a chance to test the Ford, so we can't include the Ford
in this category.
In this category, so it's just these two. And just so you know, to make this a little more exciting, because there's only two trucks, the Silverado went up in 1038, and the Ram went up in 1151. The Silverado had 2.5 mpg up the mountain. And Nathan, how much did the Ram have?
2.8 mpg. Now, just so we can get this all straight, when he's talking about those times, that's the time we measure from the bottom of the hill up to the tunnel.
Exactly.
For the Ike Gauntlet, for those who haven't seen us do it.
And we reset the computer for the MPGs.
That's right, and we do rely on what the computer says, which we find to be somewhat accurate. And so far, at least numbers-wise, it's a very interesting little game because the Silverado was faster, but the Ram got better gas mileage. And we're about to vote to see which one won.
All right, vote. Eliminate the first one, guys. If it's a tie, I don't vote, so we get a winner. Okay. It's a tie. We have a tie. We have a tie.
That's our first tie.
Okay,
Our first tie.
Two of us voted to eliminate the Silverado, and two of us voted to eliminate the Ram.
This
Now,
is interesting.
the interesting thing here is the way we could normally do that would be by the numbers, right?
Right.
Right, or can we debate it and see if
Let's debate.
Somebody
Let's
changes
debate a
their
little
mind
bit.
on it.
Let's debate. All right, so Kent and I both eliminated the Silverado. Nathan and Andre both eliminated the Ram. So let's me and you start. Why did we eliminate the Silverado?
Well, the Silverado, I do like that engine. It's a 6-speed, but the mapping is wrong on it. The new 8-speed that came out in the half tons were great, but this one, it would actually drop below its torque band between each shift going up the hill. Well, you don't ever want to do that because then you got to start all over. So I was amazed that it had a faster speed than the Ram. Now, the problem with the Ram, somewhere toward the top, it started pulling back, and whether it was defueling or whatever it was doing to slow it down. It was something that we don't even understand. You remember what it was?
Yeah, we actually
lost power.
We went back to Ram because we actually did that Ram twice. Remember?
Yeah.
Because we got the data. It was slow, and we're like thinking, well, what is going on here? And some of the things that Ram explained was they called it the gear hold feature. It was basically the truck was trying to save itself from hunting between gears. So it selected the lowest gear.
Yeah, the Ram, it has so many different features on it that I really like. It's got coil rear springs. I think it's the best riding truck in a heavy-duty class from that coil. You go coil rear. This one had coil. I love it. It's cylinder deactivation. When I drove this thing like into Kansas, I was getting 20 miles a gallon. I think that's a big deal.
With a trailer?
No, not that
just
trailer.
on its
But I
own.
mean, I was amazed by what it will do in the V4 mode. But so you got all that going for it, and I know it had this problem at the top of the hill. But I think in any other situation, it would beat the Silverado. The Silverado does that weird mapping thing, dropping below peak torque, losing power, starting all over again, where the Hemi never did. The mapping was perfect on it. It shifted well, it stayed in the power range, and I really liked it. And that's what shows that the fuel mileage just a hair bit more than the other one. But that's with the trailer, you know, pulling up the hill. And we are in extreme situations. Most people are not going to be pulling up this hill. That's why we do it, so nobody else has to. But I think the average person is going to be better off with the Ram in this situation, for fuel mileage. But
I eliminated the Ram. So going into it, I was so excited. The 6.4 liter Hemi is the most powerful gasoline motor in the class. I was really excited. We were towing the same trailers with both trucks. Basically very, very similar loads. And then it disappointed me by this gear hold feature. You know, we went back to Ram, we did the run twice. We want to make sure our timing was right on the time up the hill. And it did this, it's tried to protect itself. That's what Ram was saying, where it chose the lowest gear instead of hunting for gear or choosing, you know, the higher gear and then going back and forth. So it's protecting the transmission. But it was slow. It was over a minute slower.
At the top, yeah. It all happened
on the
near
hill.
the top, yeah.
Yeah, at the eye gauntlet.
It went quite a ways.
It disappointed me. I like all the other aspects of it, like you just discussed, but it just disappointed me on the hill.
Well, we might even have loaded heavier than the Chevy too, because we were doing the maximum weights then. Because I remember this, from the factory, it's rated to tow more trailer and payload. And I don't remember on this one if did we tow the same weight?
Actually, no. It was the same weight.
Same weight?
We did a little bit less payload because the payload rating on the Ram was a little bit lower.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
I
So
thought it was
my
higher.
data is showing here that on the Ram we did 12,500 pound load.
Okay.
And on that's the Ram. And the Chevrolet, we did 13,000 pounds. So
Where are we on
500.
axle ratios? Were we close on axle ratios?
Oh, we're struggling now. Let me just jump in here and say,
Can we just cut that hair a little finer in the middle?
look, I just thought that truck was great. I love the way that it drove. I love the way.
Which one?
The Ram.
Ram.
Yeah, I love the way that it hauled. I mean, to me, that was a truck. Whereas the Silverado, it was good, you know, but it didn't have that kind of macho in your face when you see the thing in the rearview mirror. And I know that's very subjective because I know, you know, we're supposed to be talking about numbers and towing capacity and all these other things. But to me, the Ram just represent what I thought a good truck should be. But having said that, if I eliminate myself from the voting, which is the rules, gentlemen, then we have a winner, which is.
Well, wait a minute. These guys might have been swayed by our conversations.
Yeah, right.
No, it wasn't swayed at all.
We're swayed at all.
Let me tell you why. Oh, and General Motors deserves a little bit of recognition for building a truck that physically is very different than Ford and Ram because it's a much lower truck. It feels like a smaller truck. Going down the hill, I really loved how it lowered its gear by just tapping the brake, just tapping it. It felt really stable. It had good brakes. It felt like a proper truck, yet it didn't feel like a big beastly one. Now the Ram, my biggest issue, the bottom line is that time. And that is something that reoccurred. So the Silverado did it faster. To me it felt pretty good. I like the truck in general. I just think that the Silverado with the 6-liter V8 gas deserves this win.
Well, I do like. I'll give you the brakes. The Silverado has good brakes.
So
great shifting.
So have you guys changed your mind?
Have you changed your mind?
No.
Yeah.
So we have a winner, Nathan.
Now we got arm wrestle.
You should see what we do when the camera's off. So, folks, the winners, the 2015 Silverado 2500 HD with the 6-liter V8 gas engine. Congratulations once again to General Motors. You guys are doing well, despite the fact we rarely get trucks from you. Sorry, I'm just being honest. All right, so there you go. Join us for the next batch, which is going to be with the 2500 diesels
And 3,500.
and 3500
Yes.
diesels. Heavy-duty diesels.